Hello, everyone, and welcome to the best and worst of Walt Disney World. I am your host, Ryan O'Clavin, and today's episode, we are going to be talking about the best attractions to experience at night. And to join me for this discussion are Mr. Charles Boda.
Hello.
Steve Porter.
Hello.
And Craig Williams.
Salutations.
Yes. Well, welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. And we are just going to dive right in here. What we did this week is we each picked one of our choices that we feel like that the attraction is superior in the evening, or we prefer to ride it in the evening, and then we picked one that we all agreed on. So I'm just gonna go first. Thunder Mountain. That's what I picked. I like Thunder Mountain a lot at night because I like the lighting on it. I think it like makes the mountain kind of glow and come to light with that come to life. I cannot speak today. Come alive.
There you go.
There we are. With that like orangey glow to it, and also I have a little bit of a soft spot for it because the first time I ever rode it was when I came for grad night, and it was at night. So it was like I have that like memory there where every time I ride it at night, I remember like sitting in there with Julianne Burns, her and I, just sitting next to each other. You know, that's what I rode with. Yeah.
I also feel like it feels faster at night. Maybe it's just an illusion, but
Might be because the wind's cooler at night, so
I don't know what it is. But
I think it is an illusion, but I not an illusion, an illusion. I do love it at night. If I had to choose between daytime or nighttime, I agree with you, Rhino. I think night enhances it. I think the lighting is really underrated.
Yeah.
Especially during certain set points. So like when you're going past the town on your left and all the houses and stuff at night, like it feels like that whole area comes alive. It feels like you actually see it better at night than in the daytime. I know that's very strange.
It like
to say,
hones your vision more on it a little bit better because there's less competing with like the bright light.
Yeah,
you know?
it's as if it's shining a spotlight on that section.
Yeah, it's weird.
And
how that works,
a couple other places. But then it also, you have those moments like the last big turn when you go out over the water. And like I feel like that it's like you feel like you're driving into this blackness, but then at the last second you turn and come back in. So it really offers the best of both worlds.
I like seeing the park too. Like, you know, when you're going up the hill, I like seeing like that kind of all lit up. And this is another reason why I like another attraction we'll speak about a little bit later at night, specifically because I am always a fan of going at night because I hate the sun. You know, it gives us life and all that stuff. But I just think things at night look... just Disney parks in general just have this whole new character and life to them as soon as the lights go down. And I feel like, you know, there's just a little bit more energy in Thunder Mountain specifically for me after dark. So, Steve, why don't you talk about yours?
well, I'll compliment. That was probably the best one. You stole it from everyone. So
Sure did.
Yeah. But I will say Jungle Cruise, and I know that might sound weird because it is dark in there. Obviously because it's night. But I think because the Jungle Cruise is so heavily based off of who the skipper is, I think the later at night it gets, you get people that...
A little more sassy.
Yeah, you get a little bit more sass. And,
they're tired and angry from
they,
a long day.
they just want to go home, and so they kind of are like, yeah, they don't really stick to the routine as much of the, you know, don't take it for granted. Like sometimes they drop that joke because it's like, all right, it's the end of the night. I just want to have a good... So some of the best experiences I've had on the Jungle Cruise have been at night with people that just are ready to go home. And that might sound weird, but it's just the experiences I've had.
I enjoy the idea of like boat rides at night in general appeal to me. Again, like I already said, you know, I prefer the parks at night for the most part, not all the times. There's stuff I like during the day. I'm just kidding about the sun and everything, but there is something about being like, here we are in this kind of mysterious place, you know, in this jungle at night in the river, and I feel like it adds to the theming of the attraction a little bit extra for me.
And I don't know why this is true, but I've also noticed the discrepancy in wait times for the Jungle Cruise. For some reason, they, not always, but a lot of times they drop off towards the end of the night. So,
yeah, one thing that I like about it is it's very difficult in the Florida sun to really have your Eyes?
What you saying?
What did I just say there? It's
you
really
saying,
difficult to have your eyes adjust quickly when going from outdoor to indoor.
Mm-hmm.
So on a very bright day when you're riding the Jungle Cruise, you go into the cave portion.
Yeah.
And there's actually a lot of little fun stuff in there. I know like things like the tiger and the monkeys are pretty well lit, but most of the time your eyes are still stuck adjusting all the way through there. So like by the time you come out on the other end, it's like, okay, finally when I could start seeing in here.
And then your eyes have to readjust.
Yeah.
Right.
But at night you don't have to worry about anything like that. So I'm glad they actually did it. I don't know when they had it open at night, but I feel like it was never open late when I was coming as a kid. And then like towards 2000 or so, then they started keeping it open for night longer and longer. So this always became a favorite of mine and my family's. Doing Jungle Cruise at night.
I didn't know it was closed at night.
I'm not saying it was. It just I guess it always felt like it. My family never did it at night, at least from my memory. So I'm not saying that it wasn't, but then once we did start doing it at night, it almost became like the tradition. Like you have to do Jungle Cruise at night.
You made a good point about the Jungle Cruise that I want to throw back to Thunder Mountain really quick too, is that in Thunder Mountain, when you take that first really tall hill, you're in that cave in the cavern. And sometimes when it's the middle of the Florida day and you're going in there, it does immediately get so dark and that loud noise, it becomes very like, whoa. Like, whereas if you're going in a dark setting, you can see a lot more of the details in the cave with the effects and all that stuff. So that I agree that same kind of thing happens on the Jungle Cruise, which I always enjoy.
Yeah.
So Charles, anything to add, or would you like to tell us about your pick?
My pick is admittedly ridiculous for one reason.
Well, you picked it.
Yeah, I know. I am admittedly ridiculous for many reasons, but I picked a indoor ride, which you wouldn't think night would really enhance, but it's all about the setting, the emotion, the vibe, like a psychological enhancement. So my pick was Haunted Mansion. Mm-hmm. Now, it being nighttime does not change any of the interior of the ride, but it does change waiting in the queue outside. And I just get something, my favorite, honestly, for this attraction is getting there at dusk right before night when you're starting to get that spooky vibe, and then coming out of the attraction and having it as nighttime, because it's a haunted house attraction. Mm-hmm. It's a haunted mansion. So you want something dark, and when you're trying to experience it and you're sweating and it's noon, or like one of the 7 hours of noon in Florida where like the sun is beating down on you and you're sweating, you don't get that like dark and stormy night haunted mansion.
No, you're like, thank God I'm
indoors
it's right
like
now.
Yeah, thank God. Like you're appreciating the air conditioning before you ever get to the spookiness of the vibe. And the graveyard scene outside, like a graveyard is meant to be experienced at night. Like all of these very Halloween-centric, spooky, spiritual stuff, nighttime adds to the vibe. So if I really want to get immersed and I want to get that theming and feel like, oh yeah, I can't wait for the Haunted Mansion, nighttime is the way to do it.
Well,
I think everybody should do, for their first Haunted Mansion experience, I think you should do it at night.
Well, the thing is, too, is once you're in the attraction and you are still in like the outdoor portion of the attraction, mm-hmm. it is nighttime. Yeah. So it does kind of like keep you in that. It just like keeps that flavor going a little bit longer.
Keeps the story going a little bit longer.
But also like I like the lighting of the mansion when you're coming up at night too. It adds that extra depth because ours is like up on that hill and you're just kind of looking up at it. My favorite thing that happens is I have two times. Obviously during the Halloween party they add a lot of the smoke effects and they have sometimes they'll have the character out there on the bench. But this is almost impossible to do if you're just lucky when there's heat lightning. So it's not really raining and it's not really whatever, but you get that heat lightning going and you're walking up to the Haunted Mansion. So like you're looking at it and then like real lightning is happening. Mm. Not lightning that you're necessarily as like in danger of is like the traditional like thunderstorm that's here. I just think it's one of those like, it's just, it's just cool. It really, those moments really kind of pull you out of that Florida and you're like, I am in like upstate New York or somewhere. And I don't know.
Yeah. And kind of like you guys have mentioned with some of the other ones, with the Haunted Mansion, when you go through all that in midday and you get that like nice, Haunted Mansion theming and like that spookiness and everything. And then you walk out of the exit and you get slapped in the face by like a hot Florida sun, it totally takes you out of that spirit that you just really built up.
Yeah.
Whereas if I do Haunted Mansion in the beginning of the night, I can kind of keep that mystical, spiritual, fun, spooky vibe throughout the rest of it, and it enhances other attractions and other rides for me.
Yeah. What do you think, Craig?
About Haunted Mansion?
Yeah.
I think the ultimate time to ride it is also a portion at night, but if you're talking the best time you could ever ride it, it's nighttime during Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, when you have the extra effects added, the extra fog coming around. You might have the whatchamacallit, the lady out front, and
then the cast members have the face paint on.
Yes,
sometimes
they
too,
have the
which
face
is nice.
paint on. They also have the gentleman that they added this past year too. And then having like where the animal graveyard is, having that with special lighting and extra fog. It's just it's so much better that time.
The gentleman. Did I miss something?
Yeah, they. I don't know why I can't think of her name. The one who sits out and talks to people in the queue during the Halloween party.
She's
they also
creepy.
added a man this past year.
Oh,
Yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah, it rained the very first night that we went to the party this past year, so I caught him as I was leaving the Haunted Mansion. He and the lady were standing in the exit getting cover. But,
very cool.
Yeah.
Well, what do you say about yours?
Mine, what do I say about that?
What do you say? What is it? What do you
Yes,
say?
mine's Astro Orbiter. So sticking with the Magic Kingdom routine here, Magic Kingdom's a beautiful park at night, but I chose Astro Orbiter because it's, Tomorrowland, I think it has a certain magic to it in the daytime. It's definitely a lot better than Disneyland's. I think we could all agree on that. But at night, in ours here in Walt Disney World, it's actually really pretty, lit up with all the neon lights and such. It's not everyone's speed, but I do enjoy it. So to me, to ride Astro Orbiter in the daytime, there's not a lot of excitement. It's just kind of bland. Yeah, you get some good views of the park looking out in the distance, but you're also going so quick that it's a lot harder to stop and get that view as you're moving around. At night, you're not really focused on that. You're on a rocket ship ride where you're high above the park. Like Charles mentioned with the roller coasters, you have that crisp air hitting you. It doesn't even matter if it's 90 degrees out. It still seems cooler when you're up that high, moving around really fast. And so then having just like all the neon of Tomorrowland down below you, it is actually really, really cool. It's a really special experience.
And off in the distance, too, you have the lights from Main Street, and you have the lights from even further at the Contemporary.
I haven't done ours at night, but the Astro Orbiter specifically is something I do love to do at night at Disneyland. So it is something like I'm going to have to eventually do the one here. The one here, I just feel like I'm rolling out of the side of it, and at night it seems extra scary, but I'll do it.
But that's part of what makes it so exciting. You can't get much better than that. When we used to come as a family on vacation, that was almost always one of the last things that we would do the night before we left. Like that was our last attraction we would do, because you can't get too many experiences like that in any theme park where you're up that high, but you can still just like look around and see. It's not like we're riding a roller coaster last where you get that moment as you're going up the lift to look around, but then after that you're just things are too crazy. But yes, Astro Orbiter.
Well, we had one more that we all agreed on as well, and it is also in the Magic Kingdom. We have maybe some like honorable mentions. We've had some debate. Some of us said Slinky Dog. I haven't done it at night. Craig thinks it's a sunset attraction.
I think we should have a part 2.
Okay, so we'll come back to that someday. So, but one that we did all agree on here for this episode was Splash Mountain, and I completely agree. It is one of those things again. Though Splash Mountain is not like explicitly taking place at night, there's just something about the attraction, like when you do the second or third like dip down and you're in that like I don't know the section of the ride what it's called, but you pretty underground and it's all dark and the are they possums?
The Laughing Place?
Yeah, are you talking about the Laughing Place?
Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure if that specific section was called the Laughing Place, but right before you take the final.
Yeah, that's the Laughing Place.
Yeah, that area it always makes me feel like nighttime in there because you're underground, and then there's something about right before you take that drop into the Briar Patch that you can see, the castle straight ahead in front of you, and you just kind of get this, you emerge, and it's just cool to see like all these things lit up, and you're so high up, and I don't know, I really enjoy it. You're not going to dry as quick, but.
I love it at night because 2 or 3 times I've unintentionally timed it up with the fireworks.
Oh.
And it's one of the best places to watch the fireworks in the Magic Kingdom. Yes, you don't see the full show, and yes, you're not getting the music that goes along with it, but the perspective that you're getting while you're riding on you're like looking up and they're just all right there.
That sounds cool.
So cool.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. For me, the best time, Splash Mountain, I do think it's best at night. It's just, it has a different feel about it than it does in the daytime, but you can't get much better than when the fireworks are going off and you are right at the, after you go up the first lift hill, you have that outdoor portion where you're circling around. If you're able to see the fireworks there, and then also again, as you're making your drop down Chickapin Hill, then that's like, that's the ultimate time.
That just right, though, huh?
Yeah. Well, with Happily Ever After being 16 minutes, it's very simple to do it now. But with something like Wishes, that was minutes shorter, that's a little tougher.
So what do you recommend going in? Do you have to have the fast pass set for the time near the fireworks, like within that hour frame, so you can essentially walk in like 5 minutes before?
That'd be the most guaranteed way to do it. But I guess you could also just kind of figure out wait times, and that might take a little bit more luck. But fast pass is probably more the guaranteed.
Just so people out there or ourselves can try it sometime, Charles, you ever ridden it at night?
I've ridden it at night, but I've never ridden it during the fireworks. So I'm just trying to do mental math right now to figure that out.
Yeah.
In the computer.
It's in the computer? Well, thank you. Well, that was cool. Now I really want to go to the park at night. Too bad it's been just raining at night lately here today. It's been, anytime I think into my head, you know where I want to go right now? Walt Disney World. Florida's like, oh, I don't think so, friend. And boom, it opens up and there's a thunderstorm. So it's that time of year, though. But I am pretty excited because we're getting to the end of July as of recording this. And so the fall is upon us. And again, not only will it be like Halloween, but it's also going to be time to go back to the parks at night without a little less water involved here. So I am looking forward to many park trips at night. Thank you guys for having this conversation. Thank you everybody for watching this video. If you have some rides that you like to do at night, let us know in the comment section below. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel on here. We are nearing our 100,000 subscribers, and that is something that Pete desperately wants to happen soon. He wants that plaque that we get. But we are also open to suggestions for future episodes of Best and Worst. You can tweet at us at the.diz, or you can send an email to podcast@dizunplug.com, and we will take a look at those topics and talk about it in the future. But for now, that'll do it for this episode, and we will see you again later.